let us now see the limitations of cash flow statements. Limitations of cash flow statement. So children, tell me, what can be the first limitation? Its name only suggests you that there will be a limitation attached to it. It's a cash flow statement. So what will be the first limitation? That it doesn't take care of non-cash transactions, or you can say the non-cash transactions are avoided while preparing cash flow statement, even if they are very, very important for the business concern, but these will not be recorded in this particular statement, right? So that's the first and biggest limitation. First is non-cash transactions are not shown. Okay, so I think it's clear, pretty clear with the name, with the detailing, whatever we have done so far, that it only takes care of cash transactions, cash inflow, cash outflow. So all the non-cash transactions are avoided. What else, children? Second important thing that we discussed just now before this previous topic, that it is not a substitute for income statement, right? Cash flow statement is not a substitute for it, because it is prepared on a different lines. Our statement of profit and loss or the income statement, it is prepared on accrual basis. It considers all the expenses whether paid or not, and it considers all the incomes whether received or not. But cash flow statement only takes care of cash transactions. So that's a second limitation, that it cannot be taken at the place of income statement. There has to be an income statement, then it has to be prepared along with that, and it will serve a different purpose. So income statement needs to be prepared anyway, right? So second one is not a substitute of income statement. That takes us to the third point, that it is neither the substitute of balance sheet also. Balance sheet shows balance sheet is a position statement, and it shows the position of assets and liabilities on a particular date, but that has to be prepared separately, and cash flow statement has to be prepared separately, because cash flow statement doesn't show the financial position, that is the the position of assets and liabilities. So that will be the third point, that it is not a substitute of balance sheet. Now, what next, children? Again, as I was telling you in the previous topic, that if you have learned the limitations, uses, objectives of financial statement, chapter 1 of this part, and then or the analysis of financial statement, so you can take few points as it is from there and add up in any of the topics. So what is that point which now we can add? That this cash flow statement is historical in nature. That's the point that you are learning, children, from class 11th chapter 1, right? That accounting information is historical in nature, because the transactions are recorded at their purchase price, even if how much old it is, and that keep on being carried forward for many years till the time either that may disappear because of depreciation, or otherwise it will not be updated. It is not updated, only the historical value is being reflected, right, in the books of accounts. So the same impact will come on cash flow statement, that it is historical in nature. It doesn't give the current value, right? That's the limitation of accounting only, that you did in your class 11th. Then in this book also, in the financial statement chapter also, in analysis of financial chapter also, it's being repeated everywhere, because wherever the data of accounting will be used, this limitation can be easily utilized that. So it's an easy way to score marks. You can just learn few limitations which are common in every topic, in every chapter. So wherever you are supposed to write the limitation, you can write that common one. So this is the good one for that, that it is historical in nature. Okay. Now, what next can be the limitation of our cash flow statement? Yes, any guesses? Okay, I'll tell you the next point also, that it helps in assessment of liquidity of the business, but not completely. Assessment in liquidity is not complete because it only talks about cash and cash equivalents, but there are other factors also involved which tells about the liquidity of the business, the current liabilities and current assets. Okay, so that again goes against the cash flow statement and becomes a limitation of it, that the assessment of liquidity is incomplete because there are other factors also that are covered under the head, that is current assets and current liabilities. Current liabilities, right? So complete liquidity position is not being made clear by preparing cash flow statement, right children? So what can be the next one? Yes, any guesses? Now again the common one can be brought here, that since the data for which, like the base of cash flow statement from where we are preparing cash flow statement is what? It is financial statements like income statement and balance sheet. Like for solving the cash flow statement, to prepare a cash flow statement of a company, the accountant need to have the income statement and the balance sheet. Okay, so he is picking up data from there. What if that data is only wrong? If those financial statements are incorrect, the result definitely will be incorrect, right? If your question is incorrect, solution definitely will be incorrect. But even if you are doing it completely correct, in the completely correct way, but the solution and the answer will be different, or wrong rather, I should say. Yeah, so that is what is happening in the last limitation, that if the financial, since it is dependent upon the financial statement, the data to prepare cash flow statement is taken from financial statements. If financial statements themselves are incorrect, the cash flow statement will not be able to give the correct result. Okay, so that will be children our last limitation, that it can provide incorrect results if the financial statements from which it is prepared, are incorrect. Okay, so seems like a limitation, that for whatever purpose you are preparing the cash flow statement, that will not be served. It will give the wrong answer, incorrect answer, because you have taken the data from a wrong place, or the wrong data you have picked up. So that goes as a limitation, that will not help, that will not serve the purpose. So children, all these are the limitations of cash flow statement. And with this, your theory is complete, and we will proceed with the practical aspect of our cash flow statement. And in that, we will start with the terms of cash flow statement. All the terms which will be used, you should get familiar with those. Even though I have told you few terms, like what are operating activities, what are investing, financing activities, and cash equivalent also we discussed. So these few terms will be used, and we will understand under which activity which kind of items can come, and then we will proceed with doing the practical numerical question of it.